Kereisos Daf Chav Gimel. Typically, when a woman gives birth, she brings two birds. One is a chatas and one is a oila. If she has a suffik leda, she's not sure if it was a proper birth, she should bring those two birds besufik. The only difference is that in this case, the kohen can't eat the chatas bird. Perhaps she didn't give birth, and then the chatas performing the malika on the chatas in the Beis Hamikdash creates chulim ba'azara. However, says the Mishnah, if it became known to the woman that she did indeed give birth properly, so the chatas is a proper chatas, and then even though it was designated as a suffix, but since they caught onto it before the shechita, the kohen could get to eat it. Now the Mishnah brings four cases that are very similar, the concepts are the same. So we're going to go through two of them. If a person has two pieces of meat in front of him, one is kosher and one is chaylev, and he ate the chaylev b'shoigeg, he brings a chatas. If he ate the chaylev b'safek, he's not sure if he ate it, he brings a korban asham tali. What if he ate one of the two pieces? So he brings a korban asham tali. If he ate the second piece, now he definitely ate the chaylev, so he brings a korban chatas. What happens if one person ate one piece, came along a second person and ate the second piece? According to Reb Shimon, they could create a partnership, buy one korban chatas, and each one will make a t'nai. If I was the one that ate the chaylev, it's my chatas. If you're the one that ate it, it's your chatas. Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Yossi say no. When it comes to a korban, you can't have a partnership, and therefore each one brings a korban asham tali. Obviously, they hold that you don't need chaticha mishtei chatichos. You don't need two pieces in order to be over. Even if the second one only had one piece left, he still has to bring asham tali. There's another case. What if one of the pieces was kodesh, and now we're talking about mi'ilah, and one of the pieces was chulin, as we had yesterday. In mi'ilah, there's a machlokes. Rabbi Akiva holds you bring a asham tali, and Chacham hold you don't bring a asham tali. So in this case also, if he ate one of them, or let's say he ate one, and then another person came along and ate the second one, according to Rabbi Akiva, both of them will bring asham tali, but according to Chachamim, there is no asham tali because you don't bring asham tali on mi'ilah. According to Rabbi Shimon, they bring a asham vadai as a partnership. They both get together. Rabbi Yossi says no, you don't bring a korban as a partnership. And the same achloikas and concepts we have in the case of one piece was chaylev and one piece was kodesh, or one piece was chaylev and the second piece was chaylev and kodesh. And the fourth case is if one piece was chaylev and one piece was chaylev and noisar. The only difference is you could bring three korbanos in certain cases. But in this case of chaylev and noisar, we must say that the noisar is not worth a shava pruda, because if it is, then he would have to bring a korban on the noisar part for the mi'ilah. How is it possible it's not worth a pruda? Either he didn't eat a lot of it, or it's in the summertime without refrigeration, it's spoiled and it's not worth much. The Rashi just adds a little piece here that Rabbi Yossi says that by a chatas, you don't bring a chatas as a partnership. It's only a chatas that comes on an aveira, but not a chatas of a woman who gives birth or any other chatas that doesn't come for an aveira. The Gemara says that according to Reb Shimon, typically, ein isser chalal al isser. So if you have one isser, for instance, chaylev, you can't put another additional isser on top of it. For instance, even a more chomer isser like Yom Kippur doesn't go on top of the isser chaylev. However, in our Mishnah, Reb Shimon would hold isser chalal isser according to one man Amar, because it's kachim. The Gemara brings special psukim that isser chalal isser by kachim, even when the isser is lighter than the original isser of chaylev. For instance, tuma would be chal on top of chaylev. There's another man Amar Tana that holds that even in kachim, Reb Shimon holds ein isser chalal isser. And this pasuk called chaylev, what do we do with it? Comes to teach us in a case that a Vlad Kachim, the offspring of Kachim, which only attained their Kedusha at birth, so it comes out that the Chaylev and the Me'ilah happen simultaneously, and Memela, both of them are Chal. And with that we finish the Perek, Dam Shchita. Says the Mishnah, if a person brings a Asham Talui because he's not sure if he did an Aveira, so he designates it, then he finds out that in fact he did do an Aveira, so he has to bring Asham Vadai, or he found out that he didn't do an Aveira. What happens to this korban? Three-way machlekes. According to Reb Meir, since he found out that it was a mistake, so this korban retroactively is not a korban, it's complete chulin. because he only designated it because he thought that there's a suffix. According to Chachamim, it's completely Kaddish, because a person has liboy noikfai. His heart, he's nervous about it, so he designates it with a complete heart, and he wants it to be Kaddish, and therefore it has to graze, and you take the money, and you give it as an adava for Ketzim Mizbeach. According to Rabbi Eliezer, a person can bring the carbon as is, because a person constantly sins. A person speaks Lashon Hara, etc. Let him bring it for that. What happens if he found out that he sinned or he didn't sin after Shechita, but before Zrika? According to the Tanna Kama, you got to spill the blood, and the meat is burned, just like any carbon that becomes possible. According to Rabbi Yossi, continue on, perform the Zrika, and you can eat the carbon. What happens if you find out after the Zrika that he brought it for no reason, it wasn't a suffix, it's a vadai, or he didn't have to bring it at all? According to everybody, you can eat the carbon. If a person brings a asham vadai, not a tali, he brought a asham vadai, and then he found out that he didn't sin at all. Let's say the Eidim lied. So according to everybody, before the Shechita, it's completely chulin. After the Shechita, you must bury it because it's chulin ba'azara. And after Zrika, you burn it. And the Gemara says that these two shitas contradict each other. They're said by different people. Ashar Aniska, once the din is over, and then we find out that he never killed anybody. Baharug Baraga, the guy shows up, he's not even dead. So the Shar Aniska is complete chulin because there was a mistake. However, by Egla Rufa, when they find the body between two cities and they bring a calf, and then they found the killer, so that there's no need for the Egla Rufa. So if it's before they cut the head off, they did the Arifa, then it's complete chulin. But once they did an Arifa, there's a big chiddush. Since the Arifa comes for a suffix, and it performed its job, even though you found the Ritzeach, it's Asr Bahana, and the Egla Rufa has to be buried. Have a wonderful day.